If you stop overspending money on these 14 things, you'll learn how to save money as a young homemaker. So the question is, what are these 14 things? Well, let's talk about it. The first category is services. So these are important because they will lower your bill, your monthly or yearly bill. And the first one I want to talk about is auto insurance. And this one's a big one. Every single year, you should be calling up your agent and ask them to shop around for you because without fail, insurance companies always, jack up the price every year. And, part of it is to cover for inflation, but some of them just do it because, well, they can and they think you won't notice. But you're in luck because I'm telling you, shop around. Before your service renews for that year, then you should call again your agent and make sure that they go through and shop around on your behalf to find what plan best fits your needs. The next one I want to talk about is your internet. And this might not be for everyone, but where my husband and I live often enough, we are not getting the internet speed that we are paying for. And you can test this by just doing a simple Google search, internet speed tester, whatever. And there's different things that you can use to be able to test to see if you're actually getting the speed that you're paying for. And so what we do is we call and we complain, and sometimes they'll give us a better internet speed because supposedly they don't offer this one in our area, which is kind of like, okay, whatever. Or sometimes they'll lower the rate or what have you, or they'll come in and actually check the router and stuff like that, or give you a new one, whatever you have worked out between them, but it is something worth looking into. The third thing that you might be overspending money on is eating out. Now, I know it is a luxury and it's nice. And sometimes we eat out because we don't feel like cooking. And if that's the case for you, then I have some hacks on how to deal with that. I'll put that in the description below. But the other thing too is there's plenty of places that offer home cooked meals without the added price tag of eating out or doing takeout. And so for us, me and my husband, we have a small local grocery store that makes home cooked meals. Or there's another catering company down the road and they also have different foods. So it's nice because it's that home cooked meal, fresh kind of thing. And we just simply have to heat it up, but it's at a fraction of the price that you would pay at an actual restaurant. Another thing too is if you do just want to get a pizza, keep it simple, stupid, then order a Big Y party-sized pizza, just make it cheese, and then add on the toppings that you want. I find toppings really jack up the price of a pizza, and most of the time it's not, wholesome ingredients. So for us, that's a way that we save money. We'll just get a big party-sized pizza, and then we'll put on the toppings that we want. Okay, so the fourth thing that I want to talk about in this category is your trash service. Now, this is something that, again, you really need to shop around to make sure that you're getting the best rate. Or another thing that you could do, you can call your town, and sometimes they have different things available. For us, we have a pay as you throw, and we just pay for the bags, and then we can throw it out at the town. Yes, it does create more of a less convenient situation, but if you're looking to save money, that would be a great way to just not have that bill of a trash service. Okay, so for the next category, we are going to talk about quality versus brand name. Now, I know this might ruffle some feathers, but companies make things cheap on purpose. So for example, the show Buy Now, the Shopping Conspiracy on Netflix talks about this. And for example, Apple, their Apple AirPods, they in theory should last longer than what they do, and what needs to be done is just the battery needs to be changed, but the company makes it nearly impossible for you to access that battery without completely damaging the AirPods. So as a result, you need to replace it with a new pair. And so I think a lot of people overspend on brand names, especially because they think that it's quality, but it's not actually quality. So I guess this next, I think it's the fifth thing, would be to stop spending money or overspending money on brand name products. And now, full disclaimer, I will say this, If the products actually do last a long time, or if like there's a long warranty and you use it all the time, then yes, like I hands down would rather spend more money on a product like that and save money in the long run. Okay, so for the third category, we're going to talk about having a new perspective on essential items. And so this next thing that people overspend money on is groceries. And I say that because a lot of groceries that you're spending money on can be made at home, like broth or granola or yogurt. Like all of those things are a lot cheaper to make than it is to buy. So if you have the power to make things and the time, then like you should absolutely be making some more food from scratch. And not only that, it'll probably be healthier too without all the additives and garbage that traditionally comes with the food at the store. Just keep in mind that not everything is cheaper to make. Like I find juice is one of those things which kind of is concerning, but not everything is cheaper to make. So just again, keep that in mind. Okay, so I know this next one will get some of you kind of upset with me, but hear me out. You should not be spending a lot of money on scented items. So like air fresheners, Febreze, perfume, even candles, especially perfume, you should not be spending a ton of money on. And hear me out. I know I'm gonna go on a little tangent, but for those of you who use a lot of perfume, I'm telling you, we all smell it. Like the rest of us smell it. And some of us are sensitive to different strong scents. So you are putting like 1, 2, maybe 3 people in your close circle bubble who is sensitive to smells in a position where they get a headache every time they're near you, or they don't want to be with you in a car because it's just overly strong. And unfortunately, you're so used to the smell, so you don't smell it anymore. And that's why I think perfume is one of those things, like you don't need to use it as much as you think you do. Like, trust me, a little bit goes a long way. So as a result, if you use it less, then you won't be spending nearly as much money on that item. And the 8th thing that you should stop overspending money on is single use or single pack items. Like for example, you could buy in bulk in various different categories. Like you don't need to buy like a single box of tissues, just buy like a bulk thing of tissues. I do mine on Amazon. Or food is a great one. There's different wholesale stores that definitely sell things at a cheaper cost. Obviously, you don't want to do it for things that you will not end up using or things that will go bad. But you can always, like if you get, we'll say, a whole bunch of frozen chicken in bulk, you can freeze some so that way it stretches the shelf life of that particular meat. Okay, so for the 4th category, I'm going to talk about sustainable alternatives. And we live in a very consumeristic world where companies and businesses prey on our weaknesses. And one of those weaknesses is just the psychological way that they make us want their products. But one of the sustainable alternatives would be to avoid single-use items. Plastic's a big one. So like plastic water bottles, plastic wrap. You can easily swap these for a metal water bottle, or you can do beeswax wrap or use glass containers. And then another thing is dryer sheets. Like don't use dryer sheets, use the reusable wool balls in the dryer machine. And I have some, I'll put a link below to the ones that I have. And the 11th thing on this list is beauty products. So like for example, disposable razors could be substituted for a metal one. Again, I'll put a link below to the one that I use. I like it, I think it's great. Or even like the makeup remover pads. I have soft cloths that you just need water on them and it removes the makeup and it's perfect. It's exactly what I need. So the last category that I want to talk about on things that you might be overspending money on is subscriptions. And so, for example, Amazon is one of those areas or companies that you might subscribe to things without even really realizing it. So I'll put instructions below on how to find all of your subscriptions if you have any. But this happened to me one time. I just so happened to stumble across it and I was like, wait a second, like I'm paying to like subscribe to like this book or something. I'm like, no, I don't want that. So definitely check it just in case, because you could be getting charged for things that you don't think you're being charged for. The 13th thing that you might be overspending money on is music and movie subscriptions. And I definitely feel like music subscriptions, if you're looking to save money, is a luxury. Like, just listen to the commercials. I know it's a drag, but it's not worth spending that extra like 10, 15, whatever it may be a month to not have commercials, if you want my honest opinion. And now, last but not least, the 14th thing you might be overspending money on, and it is a gym membership. Now, I'm not saying to just go out and cancel your gym membership, but one, if you don't actually use it, then you should probably cancel it. But if you do use it, you should look into your health insurance if they will reimburse you, because sometimes health insurances do reimburse you for spending money on like gym memberships or different gym like exercise equipment. So definitely look into that, because you could be overspending money in that area and not even realizing that you could have a savings. But that is all I have today. Let me know what you think in the comments and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Bye.